Hello students, I'm here with another video from the chapter of class 7th Science NCERT book, that is from chapter number 1st, Nutrition in Plants. Before starting today's video children, I would like to tell you all that till now what all things we have discussed in this chapter. So we have started this chapter with the word nutrition. In nutrition, the meaning of the word nutrition, so which means that it is a way by which the organisms are taking in their food. So we are talking about only about the plants over here. So we will study about the various modes of nutrition in plants. So we studied about the various modes of nutrition in plants, that is it takes place from the autotrophic mode of nutrition, which means that this autotrophic mode of nutrition means it means that the plants are able to make their own food. So self-preparation of the food is taking place with the help of the inorganic salts, which is inorganic substances, inorganic matter, that is carbon dioxide, water, minerals. Okay, so all these, and sunlight even, and chlorophyll, all these are required as a raw material of the process of nutrition in plants, that is autotrophic mode of nutrition, which is known as to be the photosynthesis. Okay, so we studied about the process of photosynthesis in details, which means that it is a process by which green plants are synthesizing their own food with the help of sunlight and chlorophyll. Okay, then after that we studied about that there are not only the green plants. So if we categorize the plants in two ways, which means that plants are either green or non-green. So children, if the plant is green in color, it is going to undergo the process of photosynthesis. Otherwise, it is going to take up the nutrition by some other means. And this means, this could be the various types of modes of modes of nutrition, which is going to produce the food. Again and again. It is going to reproduce the food again with the help of the process called photosynthesis. And if it is a non-green plant, except photosynthesis, there could be other modes. Okay, there could be parasitic mode. Okay, there could be parasitic mode of nutrition. There could be saprotrophic mode of nutrition. Okay, so there could be different various modes. Okay, so we have studied about this saprotrophic mode of nutrition as well as this parasitic mode of nutrition. In parasitic mode of nutrition, the plants are able to derive there are certain plants which are non-green in nature, which is going to take up their nutrition from the other parts of the plant, from the other plants which is higher in its nutrition, which is having a good process of nutrition in them. Okay, similarly we have also studied about the saprophytic mode of nutrition or saprotrophic mode of nutrition, which means that these non-green plants are able to take up their nutrition from dead and decaying remains of the plant as well as animals waste. Okay, now we studied about the heterotrophic mode of nutrition, in which we also studied about one more mode, that is the insectivorous plants. About insectivorous plants. So we talked in details regarding this insectivorous plants in the last class, where we saw that these plants have a structure called pitcher. They have a pitcher like structure. एक घड़े के जैसा स्ट्रक्चर है, जहां पर जैसे कोई इंसेक्ट काटता है तो ये घड़ा का लिड जो होता है, दैट लिड इज गोइंग टू बी क्लोज्ड. लिड मींस इट इज अ पिक्चर एंड इट कंटेन्स अ लिड. It has a cap. As soon as the insect sits over here, so what happens, this lid closes. As this lid is going to close, then what happens, this is going to entrap the insects inside, and once the insect is being entrapped inside this pitcher, then what happens, the body of the insect that contains nutrition, that is nitrogen. So the main concept regarding this insectivorous mode of nutrition is that the plant is not able to take up the nitrogen directly from the soil, as it is a big molecule, as this nitrogen is a very big molecule which cannot be taken up by the plants. So but this is a very important molecule actually. Okay, so because of its importance, what happens, these plants, they take up the nitrogen from various modes. Either we are going to take up the nitrogen directly from the they could take up directly from the atmosphere with the help of atmospheric nitrogen fixation, which is taking place with the help of the lightning, as well as they could take up this nitrogen if the fertilizers are being added which contains nitrogen, and this nitrogen is responsible for the development, for the production of proteins. Okay, it is responsible for the development of proteins, it is responsible for the production of proteins, as well as it is also responsible for the production of nucleic acids, which means it is a DNA and RNA. Okay, so I'll tell you about this DNA and RNA in the online class, children. What does it mean and why this nitrogen, and where is this nitrogen being important in this nucleic acid? Okay, then after that, after seeing this insectivorous plants, children, we need to understand about one more topic, that is the saprophytic mode of nutrition, which is being done with the help of the saprophytes like bread mold. Okay, which is the bread mold, where I told that they have a structure, they have a fruiting body which has a root like structure which is known as rhizoids. They have a fruiting body which has numerous of tiny structures, which is very similar to the seed of the higher plants. But these fungi, these are the fungi, where these fungi is responsible for the production of numerous spores inside their fruiting body. Okay, because of which what happens, once this fruiting body gets matured, it is going to burst. Once it is going to burst up, what happens, the spores are coming out. Now once the spores are coming out, it is going to be falling, it is going to be present on the surface. It could be present in the air, and it could germinate. As soon as the spores which are being falling down on the surface of the dead and decaying remains, then what happens, it starts germinating. So these spores are very similar to the seeds, but they are not actually the seeds, children, remember, because these seeds are present in the higher plants, whereas this is not, these spores are only present in the fungi. Okay, so these spores are really very important part, where the saprophytes, where these saprotrophs, example like the fungi, the mushroom, the mold, the bread mold are there. The name of the bread mold is Rhizopus. So Rhizopus is the scientific name of the bread mold. If you can see that if the bread is present, and after some time what happens, the bread starts showing you the different growth of the structures. Some small cotton-like structures are going to be developed. Okay? Now what happens, if a slice of bread is being kept, you will see different colored patches over it. So these colored patches are nothing but they are the grown pin fungi, or these are very similar to the structure of the paper pins. Okay, now what happens, this is the Rhizopus, where the small fruiting body gets, this is going to be burst up, and once this fruiting body bursts, then what happens, ये जो spores इसके अंदर पूरे भरे रहते हैं, ये spores जैसे ही burst होता है, these come and fall down on the dead and decaying remains, where they start germinating. Simple as that of the plant, but they are like that of the plant. They are not actually the green plants, because their system is incomplete. Okay, it's very similar. I'm not talking that they are the real plants, but yes, they are the plants, but they lack chlorophyll. That is why they are said to be as the non-green plants. Okay, they are said to be as the non-green plants. Okay, children. So this was about the saprophytic mode of nutrition, and then we have also studied about the. So this was very new to you. I mean, this we have discussed, but it was not very complete. So I completed this. Now after that, fungi, they grow on leather, pickle, clothes and other articles which are left in hot and humid weather for a longer time. During rainy season, the growth of these fungi, they are So to say fungi is correct, fungus is correct, which is singular. Fungi is plural. We cannot say fungi. Okay. So please remember the wordings also. Please remember the vocabulary, the correct vocab of the scientific language. Okay. So fungi is the already a plural word, and fungus is a singular. Okay. So we'll talk about more regarding this. What is written over here in your book. Ask your parents about the menace of fungi in your house. Okay. तो क्या होता है कि रेनी सीजन के समय में ये एक प्रॉपर वेदर कंडीशंस मिलती हैं वेयर द टेम्परेचर इज ऑप्टिमम. देन व्हाट हैपेंस, दिस टेम्परेचर, द ह्यूमिडिटी, द रेनफॉल, all these are working for the growth of this fungus. Okay, so it starts germinating, it starts to increase its population. But please remember, what is the mode of nutrition in these fungi? It is known to be as the saprophytic mode of nutrition, which means that where the plants are able to derive its nutrition from the dead and decaying remains, where these rhizoids are going to work like root. Okay, they work like roots. They are not the true roots, they are not the true stem, it is just the stem like structure. Why I'm saying stem like structure, which is not the actual root? Because they are not having all the structure which is to be present in the root of the higher plant. Okay, so they are missing the structure. Because they are missing the structures in the root, in the stem, they are said to be as stem-like structure, a root-like structure. Okay, so please remember. So the mode of nutrition where we discussed, which we discussed over here, is the saprophytic mode of nutrition. And yes, some more, one more type of nutrition is there, which is going to be a new one for you all. Okay, so I'll just tell what is that mode of nutrition, children. After reading the autotrophic mode and heterotrophic mode of nutrition in plants, now there is one more mode of nutrition in plant that is very much important, and I think that would be a very new, I think you all have studied this also, but the new mode which I'm going to tell you, that would be a really one interesting part of this topic. Okay, so I'll just read it out and then I'll explain. The fungal spores are generally present in the air. When they land on wet and warm things, they germinate and grow. Now you can figure out how you can protect your things from getting spoiled. Okay. Bujo says once his grandfather told him his wheat fields are spoiled by a fungus. He wants to know if fungi can cause disease also. Yes. So the answer is that fungi are not only the non-green plants, they are very destructive plants also. Please remember. So these fungi, these are also causing the disease. Okay, they are also causing the diseases. Fine. Now this disease is going to be, what kind of diseases they are causing? They could be causing fungal infection in plants as well as in the animals. Even the dandruff, which you call, is also a kind of a fungal infection. Skin disease are mainly because of the fungal infection. Okay, so we have to study more things about this, and you can study all these things in your higher classes also, and you can understand what kind of problem, what kind of behavior this fungi is going to be. This is going to show. Okay, now Paheli told him that many fungi like yeast and mushrooms are useful, but some fungi, they cause disease in the plants, including animals, including human beings. Even some fungi are also used for the medicinal purpose. So there is a fungi, there is one fungus which is responsible for the development of the medicine called penicillin. Okay, so there is one medicine called penicillin which is required, which is an antibiotic. When the bacterial infection is taking place in the body, then some antibacterial things are being antibiotics, these antibiotics medicines are being given. So they are being developed from the fungus. Okay, so this fungus is going to produce this penicillin, and then this is going to be converted in the form of the medicine, and it is given for the various disease. It is utilized for the treatment of the various disease, children. Okay, so we discussed about saprophytic mode of nutrition in the non-green plants in details. Now I'll go move forward in this chapter. What is written over here is now you can figure out how we can protect the things from getting spoiled by these fungus. Now some organisms live together. They share both their shelter and their nutrients. Okay, so we can study that there are organisms which live together. Okay, the organisms are living together. Let's remove this. Okay, then after that, so there are organisms which are going to live together. Now what is the purpose of living together? What is the purpose behind regarding this living together? So these organisms, they live together, they share. The answer is they share their food, they share their shelter. Okay, they are going to share their food as well as shelter with each other. So there are two organisms which are going to live together. They are going to share their food and shelter. Now what kind of relationship or what kind of bonding, what kind of sharing is this happening, and what kind of a new structure which is being done? So what is the purpose of living together? The purpose of living together is for survival. Okay, for survival, it is necessary for the plants to live together. Now what kind of living is this? Why they are sharing their food and shelter? So there are two organisms. We are talking about organisms. So here we'll talk about two organisms. What are these two organisms? These two organisms are, one is fungi and other one is algae. Okay, one is algae. So I said that they are going to share the things. Okay, so other one is the algae. So children, one is fungi and other one is algae. So fungi and algae, they live together to form a new structure called lichen. Okay, they are known as lichen. They are also the plants. Okay, they grow on rocks. Now children, why they are what is being shared with which organism? There are two organisms. I said that organisms, they live together. Now if they are living together, why they are living together? Because you can understand that this fungi is a non-green plant. This is a non-green plant, and whereas this algae is a green plant. Now I think you can understand, I told you that the organisms which are living together, they have to share two things. One is food and other is shelter. Okay, so they are going to they have food including water also. Okay, food including water also. Now how this sharing is being done? Means which of these organisms are going to provide, which of this organism is going to provide food and which other organism is going to provide shelter? Let's understand. So I said this algae is a green plant. Green plant means it will have chlorophyll. Why this is green? Because this has chlorophyll. Now if it has chlorophyll, so it can make its own food. Now how it can make its own food? It can make its own food because it can undergo photosynthesis. I think this is visible, huh? Photosynthesis. Okay, so this is doing photosynthesis. So algae is a green plant which has chlorophyll, which is responsible for the photosynthesis. Now if photosynthesis is to be done, it requires certain raw material. Okay, so from where is this raw material going to come? I said that raw material includes water also. Okay, so this water is being provided by this fungus. So the raw materials which is going to be given to to this algae is being given by the fungus. Water, carbon dioxide, and it is going to be given to this algae so that it could prepare its own food by the process called photosynthesis. Now, once the photosynthesis is going to be happened, or this photosynthesis is going to be done, then what happens? In turn, now this algae needs to help. See children, there are two people. If you require, if see some, for example, if you there are two friends. Okay. Now one day what happens? You are not bringing your pen. So what are you going to do? You are going to take help from your friend. So here also there are two friends. One, the name of one friend is fungi, other one is algae. Now what happens if your friend is going to give you a pen or a pencil for a day, then are you going to forget it? Are you not going to help if the other day your friend is not going to bring his pen or pencil? So you are going to you're going to help your friend whenever you can do it, isn't it? So if, for example, if today you are not bringing your pen and pencil, your friend is going to give you. Similarly, when he is not going to bring his pen or pencil, then what happens? He is going to take help from you. Okay, so what happens? Both of you are going to benefit each other. Fine, what happens here also? Fungi is going to provide water, algae is going to provide food because it can do photosynthesis, because it can make its own food. Since this fungi is not able to make its own food because this is green in color, this is a green plant and fungi is a non-green plant. So this helps fungi by giving food. In turn, this algae is getting water. It is going to give water to the algae so that it could photosynthesize properly. Okay, so what happens? These two form a new structure which is known as lichen. Lichen. So this lichen is a part which is being made by the combination, by the relationship of fungi and algae. Okay, by the relationship of fungi and algae, and this relationship is known by a new word, children. What is that new word? This new word is known to be as symbiosis. Okay, this is known as symbiosis. Symbiosis. Okay, so we are studying about another mode of relationship which is going to help, which is going to give help to the plant which are living together. So which of these organisms are living together? The association, the relationship between algae and fungi. Okay, the relationship between algae and fungi for benefiting each other by providing where algae provides food and fungi gets food and water and shelter from the algae. So this association, this relationship between algae and fungi is known as lichen. This new structure is called lichen, and this complete relationship is known as symbiosis. Okay, so this is known as symbiosis. So what is to be understood over here? You need to understand about the new word that is known to be as symbiosis. So this, children, this symbiosis is the relationship. It is going to benefit each other. Now, how they are benefiting each other? I told you that fungi is a non-green plant which cannot prepare its own food, and if it cannot prepare its own food, then what happens? It is going to get food from somewhere. Now, here they are getting food from fungi. Algae is going to prepare food. Algae prepares food, and fungi gets food and gives water. In turn, if algae sees that fungi is giving me water and the nutrients for synthesizing the food, then what happens? Algae also is getting, algae will get, this fungi is going to help this algae by giving it water as well as the nutrient for photosynthesis. Okay, so this is known to be as the symbiosis. What is a symbiosis? Symbiosis is a relationship between the two organisms which are going to benefit each other for helping each other. So please remember the word symbiosis. Okay, so this symbiosis is a relationship between two organisms for benefiting each other. So this is known as symbiosis. Here we are studying about the symbiosis of fungi and alga, which is going to give a new structure called lichen. They are also a plant which grows on rock. Okay, it grows on rock, it grows on trees, tree trunk. Okay, so all these are the places where the lichens are growing, and this shows symbiosis. There are certain other ways, there are certain other examples of symbiosis where both the organisms are benefited by each other. They are going to help each other. One is providing food, other one is providing water to it. It could live also in the, it is going to provide, it is going to get the shelter in turn. So both of them are mutually benefiting each other. There is no loss of, there is no loss while living together. So they live together for the benefit. Please remember, they live together for the benefit. So this is what is known to be as the symbiosis. Okay, so symbiosis could be seen in animals also, where there are roots of higher plants are there, and the bacteria which we talked about in the nitrogen fixing part. These nitrogen fixing bacteria, they are living in the soil and they are living in the root of the higher plants, and they are going to help, they are going to fix nitrogen from the atmosphere, and then it gives the plant, it gives the nitrogen to the plants. Okay, so one more example of symbiosis could be included the roots of higher plants and the nitrogen fixing bacteria. But this is not going to form any new structure, children. Please remember. Okay, so this bacteria is only fixing the nitrogen and giving it to the plant. Okay, so it is going to benefit the higher plants by giving nitrogen. To the higher plants. So this is what is about to be known, this is known as the symbiosis, children. Okay, so this is where the higher plant roots are having these bacteria in it, and this nitrogen is going to be given to the higher plants, because of which what happens, the higher plants are able to take up the nitrogen and they could synthesize the different types of food like proteins. It is stored in the form of the food grains, it is stored in the form of fats and oils. All these are being converted because of the presence of the nitrogen. Since this nitrogen is a very important molecule, it has to be fixed, it has to be given to the higher plants. So how it could be given? It cannot absorb nitrogen from the atmosphere, since the atmosphere is also having 78% of nitrogen in it. But still, this nitrogen is a very complex molecule. ठीक है। तो ये कॉम्प्लेक्स मॉलिक्यूल को छोटे छोटे पार्ट्स में तोड़ने के लिए एक बैक्टीरिया की जरूरत पड़ती है, एंड दिस बैक्टीरिया लिव्स इन सिम्बियोसिस with the roots of the higher plants. So they live together and they're going to benefit each other. This is what is all the story about symbiosis, which is again a mode of nutrition in some plants where one plant is weak, other one is strong, and both of them are helping each other. See, this is very much different from parasitic mode of nutrition. In parasites, the plant literally dies. In the end, what happens? The plants are going to steal, the parasites are going to steal the nutrition, children. But here they are not stealing, they are simply mutually they are living. Okay, they are going to help each other with their wish. They want help and they will give help. But in parasite, what happens? Parasites are sucking up the nutrition, they are stealing up the nutrition. Okay, so in turn, what happens? The plant will die, the higher plant is going to die. So the symbiosis, the organisms where they live together, there are certain fungi, they live inside the roots of the higher plants, and they are providing water, nutrient, nitrogen to the plants. Okay. In other organisms called lichen, there is another organism called lichen, L-I-C-H-E-N. Okay. A chlorophyll containing partner, which is the alga and the fungus, they are living together. The fungus provides shelter, water and minerals to the algae, and in turn algae prepares food and provide it to fungus. Okay, children, so this was all about the modes of nutrition, which is the symbiosis, and we studied about various other modes in the previous classes also, so which is going to complete this part of nutrition in plants. And then we will study about some more, there is one more topic which is being left over here, and I'm going to continue with the same in the next video, children. So that's all for today's video. We have studied different modes of nutrition, where this was a very new part, and this is known to be as a symbiosis. Okay, so this was all about today's video. I will meet you all in the next video with the next topic to be discussed. So that's all for today.